Hello, my name is Marina and I'm a small content creator here on YouTube. And I'm not an expert and I'm not gonna sell you anything, but I have more than 15 years of experience of creating different types of content, and I've seen the unsuccessful side of YouTube for many years in a row. And today I'm gonna share with you some thoughts that I came up with just recently. And unlike my other sarcastic and ironic videos, this would be more on the serious side and maybe boring and controversial for some, but at this particular moment I feel like I want to share these thoughts because I believe they matter. So buckle up, I will lead you through my thought process that mentally was blocking me from doing the things that need to be done, even though the YouTube was my dream all those years. And the funny thing is, I was trying to laugh at it and pretending like it doesn't matter to me. And that's why those two videos even existing, where I'm trying to act cool, but let's be honest, it didn't work out. But in case you're curious in my whole journey and the story of YouTube, I will link them down below. And hear me out. I told myself stories that I'm hustling, that I'm trying, that I'm doing everything that depends on me, when actually, I was not willing to give my audience any promises. Even when I knew in heart that my final product isn't good enough, I still wanted attention in return. And other people's time is a pretty expensive currency if you would ask me now. But I used to underestimate the power of other people's attention. And just because it doesn't cost money, it doesn't mean that 40 views aren't worth the time of 40 people. Just think about it. They stopped whatever they were doing and they went checking what's happened in your life, in your universe. And I can admit just now, I was so arrogant. I couldn't see how toxic my mindset was. And I made myself a victim. Oh, that's algorithm fault. That's why I'm not famous. It's other people's and, machines' fault, not me. No wonder almost nobody cared, because I wasn't promising anything. I was unreliable, uncertain. I did whatever I wanted, however I wanted, with no guarantees of quality or schedule or consistency. And who would want a friend like that? I know I wouldn't. And the paradox here is when I finally sat down to work on a video, I played the role of perfectionist, mostly to fool my own self, but I would obsess over every little tiny detail and every cut that looked off and every frame that annoyed my eyes. And the funny thing is, it was an easy part. I was polishing what I already knew how to do. And when it came to the hard, tedious stuff, the things that I actually need to push myself to learn, I would find so many excuses. I had my very unshakable logic. I told myself that I already worked so hard on my 9-to-5 job and that I already put so much effort into this and that pieces of edit of this video. So why I should do the unpleasant things in my passion projects? They should only feel pleasant and I should do them with the ease. And I give myself over and over again the permission to skip the heavy lifting. Whoop! Early morning editing in my pajamas, Marina is here. I think I wasn't really clear about what I meant by self-sabotage while acting like a perfectionist. So it's about being perfect and dedicated and doing all the right things in a little unnecessary details. But when it comes to the things that matter, I'm like, I don't care. Let's roll with what we have. I'm too tired to put my energy into that also. So yeah, it will work out somehow. Like, I can create a video for the whole month while also having 9-to-5 and relationships and all my other multi-passion hobbies. And I would script a video for a week and then film for another week and edit for a few weeks. And when the video is already finished, I would throw a slappiest, crappiest thumbnail I can possibly create just because I'm too tired from other things, or I hit my own self-imposed deadline or something. That's the things that really matters, because if the thumbnail looks unappealing, people won't click. And if they don't click, they don't watch, even if the video inside is kind of nice and okay and good. For example, again, I can make a video and then I forget to change the codec settings and I would render in 4K, but it would look off and blurry. You know what I mean? Subconsciously, I have this thought somewhere deep inside that I'm not enough. So I'm seeking for this confirmation from the outside that people don't care, that they want to reject me, that everything that I'm doing doesn't matter, which is not true, but that's my mindset and that's why I create those situations over and over again. by doing everything right but doing the main thing wrong. In other words, I poured hours into fixing this wallpaper corner that bothered me while ignoring the huge dirty elephant in the room. And it wasn't dedication, it was the same self-sabotage, because while I was polishing endlessly, I wasn't posting. And there is no contradiction here. Both the denial of hard work and perfectionism at the same time, and all these other little excuses that I would make up, they were covering my deepest fear of abandonment and rejection. Only because I was scared. And I was so afraid even to admit to myself that I'm scared. And with my own hands, over and over again, I would create all of these situations to find the confirmation that it's true. And I would dress them up as a logic, like, oh, I'm trying, oh, I want this, but I can't get this because the world is unfair. And now, from the 15 years of experience, I can tell you, it's a bullshit. It's a huge, smelly pile of bullshit. Think about it. How often do we dress up and non-existent problem is important so we don't have to face what's truly hiding underneath? So what about the real life experiences? Let's go back to the earth and let me know if you would recognize yourself in this too. But my internal samsara loop looks like this. I'm coming back into social media world on a wave of inspiration, and I record 2 or 3 videos fueled with a pure enthusiasm. And then month or 2 passes by and I can't see any growth, or maybe my views even dropped out, and I start thinking, why am I even trying if nobody cares? And I'm fighting against this thought for quite some time, but eventually I gave up and I crawl back into my offline shell and I'm licking my wounds. And then, after a month or 2, I find something really cool that I can't resist sharing, and I press record and the circle repeats. In my other video, The Life Lessons I've Learned Before 37, I touched upon some other different situations with the same kind of patterns. When I acted like I want something, but I couldn't get it. Like, for example, in relationships, I wanted love, but I kept attracting unavailable people until a decade later, I realized that I'm doing something the same over and over again and expecting different outcome. The same with the weight loss. I've been trying since puberty, and only at 35 I realized that the problem is not a method, it's in my head, and that I was punishing myself through weight loss rather than making myself happy. So if you're doing something long enough towards your dream, towards something you want, you're failing not because you're a loser. It covers something deeper, and you are the one and only one who needs to walk through this dark side and to figure out what it is. That's why I also always hated letting people in my real life know that I have YouTube channels. Because rejection from strangers, fine, maybe they don't have a taste or something. But people from my real life, the ones that I know and I respect, if they would reject me and they see that I'm no good, it would crush me. And I wasn't deeply, honestly ready to accept all kinds of possible consequences. That would break my heart. So I resist and I sabotage over and over and once again. Or maybe you're in a different situation and you shared some pieces of your work with somebody and now you're mad because your real life friends or family don't like your videos or don't share your posts, and you think that they're jealous or they don't want you to succeed, but maybe it's because what you've made is not strong enough yet. And you know that it takes time to excel, and you already doubt yourself even more than they do. And when I'm saying this, you feel the resistance. I know that because I do too. And I feel you. And it's so painful. But I'm telling you this only because I hope that it won't take you as much time as it took for me to see the reality. I dreamed of the content creation since 2008. I knew I wanted it since the first time I realized that you can have your own channel, your own tube, but I betrayed myself, I betrayed my viewers, I betrayed my dreams over and over again. I knew I have a potential and a will, and I made myself think that it's not enough and there is something that I can't change. And just a few weeks ago, as usual, I felt the resistance about my new video I wanted to post. And suddenly, I finally saw my blind spot. And there is not everybody's blind spot, but at the same time I know that I'm not alone, and there is a lot of us who trying and failing and disappointed and always coming back, because there is something that pulls us like a magnet, and there is both a dream and a way to overcome your limitations. But if you do it blindly, not actually knowing why you're doing this, you keep stumbling and falling, and it's so hard to get back up. I know what I'm talking about. I've been doing this for years, and I guess it was so hard because for the longest time I couldn't find my deepest why, my honest, deepest why am I doing this. I've tried all the generic reasons that you hear all of the time all over the internet, like for example to help people, because I can hear this calling, sharing something that really changed my life and amazes me. But sometimes I don't feel like sharing, just generally, and sometimes I don't have something really cool and worth sharing for a long, long time. Maybe to grow my skills, but I can do it behind the scenes at my job, for example, because it's kind of connected to the video production, and so on and so forth. So why keep posting? Every reason I found I could argue against. And only now I can understand and fully accept that this is my ultimate training ground for the one fear that seems impossible to overcome, and that's the fear of rejection. And that I need to go through that. And that's exactly why I'm here. And that's what I'm feeling, and that's why it's so hard, and that's why I'm struggling so much despite my strong desire to continue. In the description I will leave the links to the podcast and videos that helped me to get where I am right now mindset-wise, and little by little and step by step they led me to realization that everything is my responsibility, that I'm the reason that I have what I have and I do what I do. So I'm choosing to keep going through the discomfort, because if I would be able to continuously do that, that's already seems like a victory to me. And it's not about the win YouTube or money or fame or something. I'm here to win myself, because I refuse to let fear win. And that's what this video is about. So what is your real reasons to create, and what is your deepest why?